Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to perform CRUD operation in React using Web API. So guys, in this video, we'll discuss few points. How to create Web API endpoint for CRUD operation, call endpoints in React application, apply empty field validation in React, customize alert message to show the pop-up, check Web API endpoints using browser inspect element, and download the source code from the GitHub. So guys, before going to this video, please visit my last videos. Okay, so if you are new to ASP.NET Web API, please go through this playlist ASP.NET Web API tutorial. It is available in my channel, and you will get some basic ideas how to create Web API, how to create ADO.NET entity data model, how to create the uh, entity model and map to your existing database objects like tables, stored procedures to connect to your database. Same way, if you are new to React application, please visit the my playlist called React tutorial, which is available in my channel. And these are all basic videos and the advanced videos for the beginner, intermediate, and experienced candidates. So guys, I'll be go to my presentation. So these are all the points I need to cover up in this session. Okay, so I have created my notes which will be step-by-step process to accomplish this CRUD operation in React using Web API. So guys, step one is we need to create a table called user details CRUD. So I'll go to my SQL Server. Okay, so this is the table, and you need to create the table with the specified columns. Okay, and user ID, first name, last name, email ID, mobile number, address, and pin code. And this is the domain data I have inserted to my table user details CRUD, and this shows the two rows. So this is all about the step one. Okay, so I'll go to the step 2, create ADO.NET entity data model and map to this table. So I'll go to my ASP.NET Web API solution. Okay, and here guys, if you expand the models folder, I am creating one ADO.NET entity data model called Satya new db model.edmx. Okay, if you expand that, so when you create a ADO.NET entity data model, it is asking which database objects, tables, or procedures you want to map. So at the time of the creation, I am mapping to that table called user details CRUD. Okay, after then the entity model will create a class similar to my table. So you can see it's creating one CS class. Okay, and if you expand that, you can see the same number of columns with the uh, data types. If you open that user details CRUD.cs, you can see. Okay, so this is the uh, this is the class file which is creating by the entity model with its specified column names, and it is created by default by the system. Okay, so this is step 2. Step 3, we need to check the web.config file per connection string. I'll go to the web API solution. I'll open the web.config. Okay, and I'm go to the last point. Yeah, you can see in the connection string section, the connection string the system by default adding this add name satyadb entities 1 connection string, and this is the model name satya new db model. Okay, and these are the all the this information has been added by the system. Okay, you can see the connection string data source, it is my server name, and this is my database. Under this I have creating this table, and these are all the secure related information which is adding to the connection string to the secure connection to your database. Like this we can see the connection string for that. So when we want to map to or try to connect to the database, we need to add this name satyadb entities 1 to the to connect to your database and perform the CRUD operation. So step 4, we need to create API endpoints to bind the data and perform the CRUD operation. Okay, so guys, here I am creating one controller, React CRUD API controller.cs. So I'll go to my web API solution, open and go to the controllers folder, and there you can see the React CRUD API controller.cs file. So guys, these are all the endpoints. Get user details by ID, insert user details, update employee details, and delete user details. So we'll discuss step by step of each endpoints. So first of all, we'll discuss about the get user details, which is HTTP GET request. So these are the namespaces you need to add to perform the CRUD operation, and this is the route prefix. I'm using API React CRUD. Okay, and you can see the SatyaDB entities. I'm creating this model, and the connection string, it's showing the SatyaDB entities, the add name. So using this class file, we can access through the database and perform the CRUD operation. So guys, here if you expand this endpoint get user details route, and this is the method name get employee details, it will return all the employees. Okay, this is the work of this endpoint. All right, so I'll close this one. Next one is it will filter the records by user ID. So this is the get request, and this is the route get user details by ID slash user ID, and this is the method name, and the pass the parameter as user ID, and the user details CRUD, it is nothing but the CS file created by the entity model in your model ADMX file. Okay, I'm passing the user ID and store the ID, and by using this object entity, it is object of SatyaDB entities 1, and we can access this user details CRUD. Right, it is the object of this user details CRUD file. If you open that, you can see this is the CRUD file, and it will be this one is the reference to that particular user details CRUD. So when you create the entity data model, it will create a designer interface, and then you can see this is the whatever your name you are suggesting, this will reflect here, and based on that we can access it. Okay, so this endpoint it is used for filter the records based on user ID. So insert the new records. Okay, so this is the HTTP post, and the route is insert user details, and this is the post user method, and user details CRUD I'm passing as the parameter. So based using this object, I can access this class reference file, and using the add operation we can save all the data, all the table fields, and store in our table. So if it is result equal to 0, it will be message data has been successfully added for user. It will show the first name, last name, and this if it is not, any fields has not been updated, it will show the message the data is failed to add the user for this name. Okay, so this whatever the message I am setting here in my response of this endpoint, it will be available in the React application. So this is the endpoint is used to insert the new user details. So update the existing employee, it is a HTTP put operation, and it is the route. Okay, and put user master, I'm passing the parameter of user details CRUD user, and there you can see here I'm instantiate the user details CRUD, and using this object I can access this user ID. For example, if there is edit button and click of it, it will first fetch the user ID. Based on user ID, it will update the specific user details and save changes. Same way, if it is successfully updated, it will show the message data has been successfully updated for this username, first name, last name. If it is not, any field has not been updated, there is no update for user, first name, last name. Okay, so this is the endpoint for update the existing user. Okay, last one is delete. So this is the HTTP delete operation. So this is the route, and based on ID we can delete. So this is the method name, delete user details, and I'm instantiate the user detail CRUD user, and I need to find the ID based on the parameter I'm passing. Okay, if user not found, then it will be not found. If it is there, then it will be remove this particular user, delete the user. And if it is successfully removed, you can see it will be display a message the data has been successfully deleted. The data has been successfully deleted for user. The username, first name, last name. If it is anything is facing issues, it will display a message data is failed for the user, first name, last name, and return OK the message. So this one used for delete the particular user ID. user details. Okay, so this is all about the CRUD operation and endpoints in web API, and we need to call this endpoint in our React application. Okay, so I'll go to the next point. So step 5, we need to create and install react.js. This is the command npx space react hyphen react hyphen app, create hyphen react hyphen app space my hyphen react hyphen app. So guys, here using Visual Studio Code, you can click on this 3 dot terminal and a new terminal. It will open a new terminal. Here you need to execute this command and it will create a React application here as shown on the left side. Step 6, we need to install the bootstrap. This is the command npm install bootstrap space dash dash save. So same way, you need to install this by typing the command in the terminal. Step 7, we need to install react hyphen bootstrap for design table button, and this is the command npm install react hyphen bootstrap space bootstrap. Same way, you need to execute this command here and it will install this package. Step 8, we need to install the Axios library. The command is npm install space dash dash save Axios. Same way, go to the terminal and execute this command and install the Axios library. Step 9, we need to check the React dependency. So guys, whatever packages we have installed, we can check in this file package.json. So here, this package.json I open. So here, whatever the package you have installed, guys, it will show here, right? That is a bootstrap and Axios, okay, and a React bootstrap. So all the packages whatever you install, it will be displayed in this file package.json. All right. So next step 10. So we'll generate the React component. So for that, we need to go to the src folder, create a new folder, and this folder name is user CRUD folder, and create the 3 files. So this 3 files name is adduser.js, getuser.js, and useractions.js. So I'll go to the src. Here I create a new folder, and inside I'm creating the 3 JS files. Okay, so step 11, we need to open the getuser.js and import necessary libraries and write logic to show the user details with edit and delete button. So I'll go to the get user details, getuser.js. Okay guys, so I'll show you this course also. So we need to import these libraries, okay, and then we need to use this API endpoint, because in our web API application, when I run, it will be available for this port number. So same way, we need to put your port number as well. So this is my API URL, http localhost : port number / API React CRUD. So this is nothing but my route prefix. If you open that, so you can see the route prefix, same thing I'm using here. So this class, it will be extended from React component. This is the class file, okay, user list, and there is some constructor super props, and it will be the state I need to use here, error, users, and response. So this is the method component did count. So it will be using Axios, we can access these endpoints. API URL is nothing but this one / get user details. So that is nothing but, so this endpoint I'm calling there. Okay, and if it will be successful, then it will be display all the results whatever inserted, right? So this will be written all the results here. If any error, it will show the error. So here guys, I'm customize this alert related things. So I'm creating one method, so alert, and the pass the parameter message and type, and this is the placeholder, and get element by ID, the alert container, and the div. Inside wrapper, I'm using some design that pop-up div section, and the append this wrapper, and the pop-up will be available for 10 seconds. So I'm using here this show alert things. Here the delete user, based on user ID, we delete the operation, delete the user details. So guys, this is the API URL and / delete user details endpoint. That is nothing but this one, and the ID we need to pass there. So this is the ID I'm using here, and using the this.show alert and the result.data success. So here the whatever the method I'm creating for customize the alert, I'm using here to display the alert there. Okay, and it will be set. If you want normal alert, you can just use the alert and inside the result data, and if you want to customize the alert, you can use the show alert. So it will be delete the user, and inside the render method and the using const errors and users, and it will display the error message if any. If not, okay, then it will be display all the users with a specified field name, first name, last name, email ID, mobile number, address, pin code, and action. Okay, and inside actions, under actions, it will be displayed two buttons. One is edit and is delete. Okay, so edit is calling edit user, delete is calling delete user. So this is the deep section alert container, it will display the alert message, and this export default user list class. So this is all about the get user.js file. Step 12, we need to open add user.js and import necessary library and write logic to create new user and update the existing user. So we'll go to the add user.js. So I'll discuss this code as well. So first of all, I am import this necessary libraries. Okay, and this add user class is extend from react.component, and these are the fields I'm using here. Okay, so user ID, first name error, so this is for the empty field validation. Last name, for last name empty field validation, using that property, mail ID, mobile number, address, pin code. So for this, as of now, I'm just implement the empty field validation for first name and last name, so that I'm using extra for properties for first name error, and for last name error. So if props user ID, then props user ID, otherwise it will be state the initial state. And this dot handle change, it will be calling to the handle change and bind this method, and same way for handle submit. So handle change method, it will be target name and target values. Okay, and it will set the state, and it will be clear the error message whatever the user types. So first name or last name error, I'm using the here. So using handle submit method, there is event is passing to prevent default. So I will implement the prop validation. So if the first name equal to empty, it will display the first name is required, and it will store inside the first name error property, and it will stop the function from proceeding. Same way for last name, if last name field is empty, it will display the message last name is required using this property, and it will return. So it will also stop the function from proceeding. And it will be using props, we can on from submit and set state we need to maintain here. And using render method, there is one page title and action status we declared. So if user ID, then it will be edit user and update. The page title will be set as the edit user and action status will be update here, else it will create new user and submit. Okay, for example, if the user click on the create new user, so it will display the create new user, and the inside in the bottom of the form it will show as the submit. If the user click on the edit button, already the user is there, we want to update, then it will display the edit user title and action status as the update. And inside return, it will display the page title. Okay, and on submit, the handle submit method is called here, and this first name. So each field has this form group and form table, form control. This type is text, first name, value is set dot this dot state dot first name. On change is handle change, placeholder is first name, is invalid is nothing but for empty field validation. So this dot state dot first name error. And after then I'm using one from form dot control dot feedback, type is invalid, so it will display the message if the first name is empty. Same way for last name, and this is implementing for last name is empty, and this is for email ID, and this is for mobile number, and this is for address, and this is pin code. Okay, and the close this close all the tags. And there is one hidden field I'm using here for user ID, the set state user ID, and this is button the submit. Okay, and this form group and this all relevant tags has been closed, and the export default add user class is exported here. So this is the code of add user.js. Step 13, we need to open user action.js, import necessary library, write logic, and add new user and show user details button. So go to user actions.js file. User action.js file. So I'll uh, discuss this code. Okay, so guys, here I want to okay, so I'll discuss this code. So you need to import these libraries, and this is the const API URL. So this is nothing but my API URL. Also, like I am implementing here in get user, right? So same thing I'll implement inside the user action.js file. So user action app, this class file extends from app component. Okay, so this is the component. Okay, and the constructor props, super props, and the set state I'm using on the is add user false, error, response user data, edit user, false is user details, true. So on from submit, it calls this method on from submit, and same way I'm using here alert message, right? The same functionality for alert. So and this alert will be available till up till 10 seconds. Okay, and so and I'm creating one on create method here on details and on from submit. So on from submit, it will be set state is add user true, and is set state for is the property is user details equal to set as false. If the state is edit user, for example, if you click on edit button, so state is the edit user, and it will calling to this API URL, and this is the HTTP post, and this is the endpoint for update the employee. If you'll go to here, you can see update employee details. The same one endpoint I'm using here, and this calling the show alert message to show the pop-up. If you want normal alert, you can just comment it out, and it will be set the state. Okay, and if it is not, then it will be perform as a new user creation. Same way for it post operation API URL, and this is the endpoint for insert user details. If you come here, you can see this endpoint, the same endpoint I'm using for post operation for creating new user adding. This show alert. If you want the normal alert, you can comment it out, and this will be set the state. Okay, so here edit user. So this edit user, it will be based on user ID. So if the user will click on edit button, right? So first of all, it will fetch this user get user details endpoint by ID. So this is the nothing but the endpoint, which will be this one, get user details by ID. Based on user ID, it will be return this particular user details. So that when the user click on this edit button, first of all, based on user ID, all the user details will be bind to the text fields. For example, the first name, last name, email field for this user ID, it will be bind to the automatically to this text fields or input fields. And then the user ID it concatenate and result details, it will be set state, and if an error, it will be set static as the error. Inside render method, it will be user form is set, and it will be add user or edit user. So it will be user form, right, on from submit, and this is the return. It will be return the div class name equal to app, and it will be a container text align. So it will be kind of a h1 tag I'm using, because when our React application loading, this is the landing page, right? It will be available in the h1 tag, and it will be display all the user details, right? And there is two buttons, that is primary is a show user details, and one is add new user, right? And it will be there is one add user, user list, edit user, this dot edit user, right? So this will display the user list, right? It will edit user and delete button, and there is one alert message. I'm using this DB ID. All right, so and this will be export as a class user action app. So basically this will be so the two buttons, that is show user details, by click on it will display all the user details, and this add new user, if you want to create new user, it will be called the on create, and it will be create the new user. So if it is not a new user, then it will be set as a not this dot state dot is add user, and it will be counted as a edit user. That means the user will edit the existing user details. and it will be export as a user action app class. So this is the code for user action.js file. So step 14, we need to open the app.js file and import necessary libraries. So go to app.js. So guys, here this is the import libraries you need to import here, and this user action is nothing but my user action.js file. Okay, and this is the code for app.js, and deep class name app container and user action app. So this is nothing but the class import name from this user action.js file. So inside container we need to use this user action app, so that when our React application will be landed, this file will be acting as a landing page or start page, and export default app, right? So this is the code for app.js file. Step 15, discuss index.js, app.css, index.css, index.html. So first we'll discuss about index.js file. So index.js, so guys, this is the import statement we need to use, right? And user action.js file user path here, and this const root create element document.get element id by root. So this is the root I set in the index.html, and it will be render the user action app. This is nothing but this path, right? So this is the code for index.js file. So discuss about app.css. So app.css, so this is the for CSS cascading style sheet, so you can use this class if you want. Index.css, so this is also for cascading style for design the layout part. And finally is index.html. So this index.html will be available inside the public folder. If you want, you can open that index.html. Okay, so this is the code for index.html, and this is the div root. Okay, and this is the code for index.html. So we need to set the CORS here. So guys, CORS means cross origin resource sharing in a web API. So this is the some definitions. Okay, and for set the CORS, we need to go to the, as per step 16, we need to set the CORS here. Go to web API solution, open, and app_start folder, web API config.cs file. So here we need to import these two namespaces, that is so this CORS we need to install from the NuGet package. After then you can use this namespace, and then we need to 2 lines of code. This CORS enable CORS attribute, and enable CORS we can pass this CORS here. So this is the code for CORS. Step 17, we need to run web API, then React app. So for React app npm start, first of all I need to, as per step 17, I need to run web API first. Go to my web API solution and click here. So guys, my web API is running successfully. I'm to check the response. First of all, I am creating one URL. So here I'll copy this URL. I'll need to check the user details. It will be written all the user details. So copy this, go to here and paste here. So this is localhost port number, and this is my route prefix, and I need to use this endpoint to return all the user details. So see here, I'm getting the response successfully. So there's 2 records, so it's showing the 2 records. Okay, so next one is I need to run the React application. So for React application, this is the command npm start. So I'll go to VS Code, okay, and click on 3 dot terminal, new terminal, and here I'll use this command npm start, click enter. So guys, here my React application is compiled successfully, and I'm go to this URL localhost:3000. So here, see here guys, my React application is loaded successfully. This is the interface for my React design. Okay, and there is add new user. I'm getting the two user details, Satya and Mohan, and there is respective edit and delete for each row. Okay, so I need to first create the new user, so I'll create a new user here. Okay, so without submit anything, I'll click on submit button, and there will be first name. It is asking for enter, so I'll enter this first name. Again I'll click enter, it is asking for last name because these two fields I'm implementing the empty field validation, so I'll use this last name as well. Put the email ID, and the mobile number, and there is address, and pin code, and click submit. So guys, here I'm getting this alert message, the data has been successfully added for this user. It will show the username, first name and last name, and this pop-up will be available till 10 seconds, and this will be disappear. Okay, and after then you'll get the show user details button here. So if you click on show user details, so show user details is gone, and it will display all my only user details, all the user related things here. So I need to update this user, so click on edit user, edit button here. So you can see guys, so all the user details has been automatically bind to the specified input fields, and this button name is changed to submit to update here. And if the user will be not anything, and click on first name, it will display the first name. Okay, and here same way, if the user try to empty this field and try to update, it will show the last name here, right? So I want to update this mail ID, Satya Sam @mail.com, and this mobile number I want to update this one. Okay, and here this field name I used to as a Bangalore, and this one I want to use this pin code and update. So this update is successfully updated for this user. This pop-up, it is available, and it is available till 10 seconds, and I'm getting this field has been successfully updated for mobile number, address and pin code and email ID, right? So guys, here what I'll do is I want to delete this user, right? So what I'll do is I want to delete this user for Mohandas, so I want to click on delete. So I'm getting one message, the data has been successfully deleted for user Mohandas, right? So this is also available till 10 seconds, and then it will be gone. Okay, so guys, next one is I want to show in the inspect element first. So to check the inspect element, go to the inspect. So see here guys, it will be adjusted to the based on the user devices. So if you want to get the new device, you check its bootstrap support, so that it will display the bootstrap one, right? iPhone Pro. So you can see the device based on different devices, the screen will be auto adjusted. So guys, here what I'll do is I need to check the endpoints whatever I'm using here, right? So guys, I'll go to the network tab. I want to see that under add new user what endpoints they are using. So I'm clicking this add user, right? And okay, I want to refresh this page. So guys, under refresh this page, I'm getting this get user details endpoint, right? You can see it show the URL, it not the endpoint for get user details, because my page loading under this endpoint, and it will return the two users there, so that is showing the two users here. I'm getting this endpoint. Same way we need to check for insert user. So I'm inserting the user test here, mail ID test@mail.com, mobile number, address and pin code, and click submit. So here guys, I'm getting two endpoints. One is for insert user details. This is the endpoint is for insert user details, and after successfully inserted, it will go to the user details page, so that the get user details endpoint also reflecting here, right? So what I'll check is I want to check what is using for edit or update the employee. So click on edit. So see here guys, there is one endpoint is generating get user details by ID/user ID, right? So this endpoint is using to fetch the record based on user ID, and then it will be updated. So if you click on, if you update this record, so test to test 1, test 1, and click update. So I'm getting three endpoints. One is user details by ID, one is update employee details to update the employees, and after the employee successfully updated, then it will be go to the get user details endpoint, right? So there is three endpoints. So here same thing I want to use for delete what endpoint they are using. So click on delete. So see here guys, this endpoint is generating. The endpoint is delete user details/user ID. So this operation is deleted. Okay. So in this way guys, we can check what the endpoints the React application using from web API using inspect element. So guys, here we'll check for the records, and then we'll check inside database is it reflecting or not. So first of all, we need to create a new user. Email ID, mobile number, address and pin code, and submit. So successfully submitted. So I'll go to my database, refresh it. So guys, here I'm getting three records, right? So here I want to update the records. Click on this edit. So guys, here I'll not update anything. I just click on update. So it is showing there is no update for this user, right? So same way, if you refresh it, there is no update here. I want to update this particular user, that is this mobile number and address. Click on edit. Mobile number I want to use here, and address I want to use this one, and click update. So it's showing successfully updated. Go to the database, I'll refresh it. I'm getting this successfully updated as well, mobile number and address part. So I want to delete this user. Click on delete. So the delete has been successfully operated for this user. So I'll go to this database, execute. So see here, the database has successfully updated, successfully deleted. So guys, in this way we can perform CRUD operation in React using web API. So I'll go to the presentation. So guys, here I'll show one more thing is I'll go to the notes section also. So step 17 is completed. Output also I have discussed. So guys, here whatever the codes I discussed about the web API and React, you can download this whole code or complete code from this URL. So I'll show you. So this is the GitHub URL, right? And you can download this code from here. So to download, you can just click on this code and download the zip. So here this folder is containing all the codes of web API and React in this zip file. So I'll go to the notes here. So I'll cover up all the steps from step 1 to step 17 and output, and this is the code for, this is the URL for download the source code. Okay, so I'll go to my presentation here. So guys, what is Axios library? So Axios is a modern and promise based JavaScript HTTP client library that works asynchronously and allows us to make HTTP calls and consume REST API. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.